Well, we have some sad news to bring you this morning. Legendary Australian photographer Tim Page has died. You may not know his name, but you will most certainly know his work. He was fearless. He pushed boundaries and his work helped shape the course of the Vietnam War. His powerful images were shared worldwide in the 1960s. He was flamboyant. There is no doubt, but he was articulate and deeply thoughtful too. This is Tim in an interview 2 years ago talking about the effects of war reporting and his colleagues, who he called his band of brothers.
I think once you've been to war, it's the biggest thing in your life. You live, you die, you form mateships, friendships which are tougher, harder, more cemented than with your family.
Yesterday afternoon, Tim lost his battle with liver cancer. He was in Bangalore, New South Wales with his wife Marianne by his side. Joining me live is his friend and colleague, Stephen Dupont. Stephen, thanks so much for your time. He was a legend. How do you remember him this morning?
With a heavy heart, of course. I just want to correct you. It's actually Bellingen, Fernmount.
Of course.
Not Bangalore. Tim passed away in. But look, yeah, Tim was one of my closest friends, a comrade, a colleague, someone who inspired me to pick up a camera way back in 1989 when I first met Tim in a book that he authored called Page After Page, and I haven't stopped taking pictures since. I mean, he inspired me, he inspired generations of other young photographers, and I think that he'll continue to inspire with his legacy and just his wealth of experience and knowledge and wonderful visionary.
He was a rare breed as well, and I mentioned at the start of this, Stephen, that his work and his band of brothers, as he referred to his colleagues, really did shape the narrative out of the Vietnam War.
Oh, absolutely. No question. I mean, he was associated with some incredible talent, both writers and photographers. I mean, you can literally, run through the list of some of the greatest photographers and writers of that period, from Jack Lawrence to Sean Flynn, Larry Burrows, Henri Huet. I mean, many photographers, and Michael Herr, who wrote Dispatches, of course, that Tim is mentioned in. I mean, Tim was there. He was on the front line, constantly risking his life to make photographs. I mean, he was, deeply, in sort of indebted to that period in a way. I mean, that's what shaped him as a human being, as a very young man, and I think continued to shape him in down the track. I mean, Tim he may have been a great photographer, but for me, he was just a great humanitarian. I mean, he was an incredibly compassionate, concerned human being, and he went on to do many great things, from helping landmine victims to Agent Orange victims to constantly getting the word out about particularly the aftermath and the effects that the Vietnam War had on so many generations in Indochina.
One of the pictures we've seen this morning is of Tim being injured himself, one of the 4 times he was injured in Vietnam. You mentioned Sean Flynn. This is the son of Errol Flynn, who he regarded as one of his colleagues. It's my understanding that Sean went missing in Cambodia, and Tim went back looking for him for years and years after. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct, and continued to search for Sean. I mean, sadly, Sean Flynn and his colleague, his friend Dana Stone, who went missing with Sean along a highway toward the Vietnam border in Cambodia, their remains, themselves, have never been found. And Tim is actually, I just learned the other day while being up with Tim through his final hours, Our good friend Ben Bohane had asked Tim if you have any regrets, and Tim had said, "My one true regret was not finding Sean. Was
Wow.
not resolving that search for Sean Flynn." So that was deeply saddening, and just showed the kind of person Tim was. He was never about himself. He was always about others. He was always thinking about others, and he could hold court like no one I know. He like I said, he inspired so many younger generations of photographers, and everyone I know that sat with Tim would sit and listen to this man almost like a sort of prophetic voice.
Yeah. Stephen, how lucky you are to have heard the many stories over many years. We thank you for your time this morning. We're very sorry for your loss.
Thank you. God bless Tim, and thank you.
Valet Tim Page, a legend of his time, has died at 78.